Hello, my loves. Today, I want to talk to you about how to manifest your dream life. What if you could make your dreams come true? What if you could manifest anything you wanted? What if you had solid scientific evidence that it's possible? Guess what? You do. Sounds kind of like witchcraft, but it's not. It's manifesting. All right. And when you truly understand the physics behind how and why it works, your life will change in magnificent ways. If you haven't heard of the law of attraction, I highly recommend watching The Secret as an intro. You can search it on Netflix and maybe YouTube too. I'm sure it's everywhere. But just watch it to get a general understanding. Here we're going to dive a little bit deeper. So to attempt to state it in a simplified manner, we see because our eyes translate vibration. We hear because our ears translate vibration. Everything is a translation of physical vibration. Likewise, based on scientific evidence, we found that thoughts and feelings also emit a physical vibration into the universe. And since like attracts like, the universe then sends more things that match that vibration back to you. It simply gives you what you think about, or more accurately, what you feel about. Your vibe attracts your tribe. We've all heard that, right? Or where focus goes, energy flows. What you consistently feel will be what you attract and experience, positive or negative. It doesn't discriminate. So how do we manifest our dream life? How do we get to that vibration that we're putting out to where good things come back to us, right? The things that we want, the things that we're trying to manifest. Step number one is to align with your heart energy. So our heart actually has a neural network. It has the same connections that our brain actually has. So it actually does think, and science has proven this now. Everything that is for your highest good comes through peace, love, and joy. This is the soul's path. Additionally, your heart's guidance will lead the way to the path of high vibration, which is where manifestation happens. You can feel this when you focus on gratitude for the things and people that you love and all that you already have. So when you send out gratitude, the universe says, here are some more things to be grateful for. Likewise, when you ignore what you've already been given and think thoughts of not enough, the universe says, oh, here's more of not enough. Anything that you try to manifest from a vibration of 500 or above, which is 500 is the vibration of love, it has more manifestational power. This actually brings me into step number two, which is to apply power and not force. If you haven't read the book, Power versus Force, I consider this a must read to understand the basic levels of human vibration and the path to enlightenment. We've all heard of kinesiology, or some of us have. He takes muscle testing, which is kinesiology, to the next level in an effort to determine what makes people and systems strong, healthy, effective, and spiritually sound. The findings were that anything that calibrated with the level of truth make individuals go strong, and anything that calibrated below the level of truth made an individual go weak in kinesiology. The dividing emotion between applied force, falsehood, versus applied power, truth, it's at the level of 200, or that of empowerment and courage. So if you've never done like kinesiology before, there's like the arm test. I remember doing this in like high school. Like you say two statements, one's true and one's false, and you have a partner. And like you hold your arm out and they say a false statement and push on your arm and your arm goes down. And if they say a true statement and they push on your arm, then your arm stays strong. But it's difficult to do on yourself. So sometimes, like if I'm in a meditative state, or I'm trying to like ask like my spirit guides for guidance, if I am like in a situation where I need some guidance and I need some answers, and I believe that, you know, like your spirits and God and everything is like all connected. It's all like one energy, and we're connected to that energy, or most of us are. And or if we want to be, we are, right? So sometimes I do feel that I get very strong answers and messages from like the spirit realm, from God, like from higher consciousness, from my higher self, from different higher dimensions than the 3D physical limited, view and perspective of what a human has. So sometimes I will actually do this muscle testing kinesiology on myself. And the way that you do it then on yourself, because you can't like push on your arm, it doesn't really work very well, is you make a circle with your thumb and your pinky, and you hold your thumb in your forefinger on your right hand or your dominant hand, and you go inside the circle between your thumb and your pinky, right? Okay, so you say a statement, and you have to test it first, right? So you have to see if you're connected. The easiest way to do this for me is I kind of like go into like a meditative state, and I just rid myself of everything. So I'm nothing, I'm nowhere. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing but this like present moment. And then I, connect to God or my, higher source consciousness, or, whatever you want to call it. The way to test it then is, you have your circles, and the first question that you ask is, I am connected to God, or I am connected to my higher power, right? Try to open the circle that you made with your pinky and your thumb with the circle that you made with your thumb and pointer finger. So you're going inside the circle and you're opening up, you're trying to squeeze the circle open. Okay. So test it out. Say something like, say your name. I am fill in the blank, and then test the circle. You can't open the circle, right? Because that statement is true. Now say a statement that you know is false. Okay, say your pet's name. My dog's name is Milo. I am Milo. It opens because it's not true. And your body knows that at a like genetic cellular level. Your body knows a true statement from a false statement because everything is made of vibration. It's kind of crazy, but it does work. So you started out by saying, like, you test it, right? True, false, or is it working? Because sometimes you can be in a state where it doesn't work at all. Like if you're way too emotional about a situation, or like if you are in lower states, like if you're in anger or fear, it won't work. You have to get at the level where like it actually will work. And then test it out to see if it's working. If it's not working, just stop. If it is working, then you test it. I am connected to God. I am connected to my higher power. Strong. Okay, good. Now I can ask questions. Okay, so my question is, and like yes or no questions, right? So it's in my best interest to take a sick day tomorrow. Strong. I should take a sick day. Okay, so it's just kind of like a silly little example, but sometimes when I just really need guidance, it helps me out. So we see throughout the book, Power versus Force, that any great accomplishment that's ever happened throughout history, which had a lasting impression, was driven by calibrations at or above the level of 500. That's love. Because at the level of 500, the happiness of others emerges as the essential motivating force. And the raw material, the law of one, when it talks about the harvest, and you guys have heard me talk about this. If you listen to my podcast, I talk about this all the time. This great awakening thing that's happening with the 3D, 5D earth split. It's like a spiritual awakening. And, Ra is like this alien confederation. It's channeled material. It's kind of, esoteric, but I'm into that stuff. So, but it's crazy how accurate, I'm just saying the accuracy of the information is, then the determining factor of if you ascend to the fifth dimension at that point is you have to be 51% or more service to others over service to self. So the fifth dimension is love, and it's unity consciousness. It's Christ consciousness. It's the energy that moves from like our sacral area to our heart area. And there's like dimensions. Like we have physical dimensions. We have height, width, depth. That's 3D. there are other dimensions that we can't perceive that are here. So the people who ascend to 5D or the fifth dimension, we won't just have the 3 dimensions. We'll have 5. The determining force then, if you ascend to 5D, is, are you more rooted in service to others, or are you more rooted in service to self? This is why it's called the Christ consciousness. So the vibration of service to others is love, which is 500. So you have to be consistently, or 51% or more, vibrating at a level of 500 or higher in order to ascend to 5D. So since the happiness of others emerges as the essential motivating force here, the high 500s are characterized by interest in spiritual awareness. The 600s are, you're concerned with the good of mankind and the search for enlightenment. And from 700 to 1,000, life is dedicated to the salvation of humanity. Okay, so love is more powerful than the lower vibrations. Love is more powerful than hatred. Truth sets us free. Truth is freedom. Forgiveness liberates both sides. You have to forgive and you have to let go before you can move into love or the fifth dimension. Courage is empowerment. Courage is truth. And the essence of divinity or reality is peace. I'll put the link of the actual post here, but there's a chart that shows the emotion as it correlates to the vibration. So at the very bottom of the chart, you have shame, that's at 20, guilt 30, apathy 50, grief 75, fear 100, desire 125, anger 150, pride 175. Courage is at 200. Now, courage is actually also the vibration of alcohol. So think about when you drink a lot of alcohol, what happens? You get liquid courage. That's why they call it liquid courage. Neutrality is at 250. That's actually where marijuana calibrates, 250. So if you think about what happens if you smoke a lot of weed, you kind of accept everything, right? You're just very like mellow, you're accepting. So that's 250. Willingness, 310, acceptance 350, reason 400, love 500. And then it goes into joy, peace, and enlightenment is at 1,000. So if you just think about like where you are on a vibrational scale in general, most of us resonate around at least higher than 250 or 200. I mean, the things that we're doing sometimes that make us feel kind of up. If our natural vibration is actually higher than the vibration of the substance, it actually brings us down instead of making us feel higher. So that's why they say alcohol is a depressant, because 200 is actually pretty, I mean, it's you know, the level of courage, but it's still a pretty like low level. It actually is bringing most people down because most people, their natural vibration is higher than 200. So the thing is that force is seductive because it can be disguised as patriotism. It can be disguised as prestige or dominance, whereas true power is often unglamorous and it's disguised as, you know, someone might be impoverished or, you know, they might be very plain. In the long run, force is arrogant and weak and cannot prevail against the strong. Learning the difference between low or forceful or weak vibrations and high or powerful and strong vibrations is the next step to assessing your own and thereby manifesting your dreams. Next, step 3 to manifesting your dream life is don't let others control your vibe. Happiness comes from within. If you need other people to behave differently for you to feel good, that's a huge issue creating resistance in your life, which hinders your manifestational power. You cannot rely on other people to act a certain way in order for you to feel good. Your own happiness must come from your own alignment. Okay? Imagine this. Imagine walking around with a sign around your neck that says, "Here I come. These are the things that I need from you. So when you see me coming, you better act this way or I won't be happy." You're going to be unhappy a lot, right? So that's exactly what you're doing when you're expecting others to behave in a certain way in order to please you. Everyone is on their own journey. You can't control where other people are on their journey. The only thing you can control is your own alignment. And when you're aligned with who you really are, you feel good. And when you feel good and you're consistently in high vibrational states, your manifestational power is strong. If you like this post, hit the like button, subscribe to have access to more information. Feel free to drop me a comment and let me know if there's anything you have questions about or would like me to do a video on. Also, check out the links below. Peace and love. Namaste.